What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Open Ultra League submitted to the channel by CutlassBoy68839, who's running a level 51 best buddy boosted 100% IV Shadow Whiscash alongside Skeledirge and Shadow Typhlosion. Obviously Whiscash is a very strong pick in the current Great League meta, so it'll be interesting to see how it fares in the Open Ultra League. But with that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. Do you have any Hundo Shadow Pokemon, and how many Team Rocket battles have you done in total? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, leading Shadow Whiscash into Dragonite. So this is one of the worst possible things we could face with this team. Unfortunately, Shadow Whiscash has nothing to throw, but it does learn Blizzard. So I think what the play here is to just no-shield the first charge move, farm up to a potential Blizzard, and the opponent is probably going to have to respect the damage here. They do respect the damage. Unfortunately, no debuff with the Scald, but the opponent throws on awful timing there, allowing us to get a full Incinerate in for free. And that's actually going to come in clutch, as that allows us to make it to a Solar Beam on the CMB tie with the Shadow Feraligatr, one-shotting the Shadow Feraligatr as they don't respect the damage. They then come back in with the Shadow Dragonite. Unfortunately, they will still outpace us to the next charge move. No point shielding at this point, as they could also shield and then just fully Dragon Breath farm us down. So instead, we let the Typhlosion go down. Gonna come in with the Skeledirge here, and Skeledirge is of course a lot bulkier than a Shadow Typhlosion, so we're going to no-shield the first charge move here. We might try and go for a full Incinerate farm down. It looks like it might be possible. No, not possible, but we snipe with the Whiscash with one Mud Shot, which is crazy. And then they've got an Ampharos in the back, so we go for the Mud Bomb, grab the final shield, and Shadow Whiscash makes it to a second Mud Bomb, putting in so much work. Mud Bomb gonna hit for huge damage. We've still got a shield remaining, so the opponent chooses not to throw a move. We can just go straight for the Shadow Ball, easily taking out the Shadow Ampharos, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, a much more positive lead matchup for us as we lead into a Gengar. The opponent is just going to throw a Shadow Punch straight away, so we can very safely let that go through. They then swap into Venusaur. I have no idea why we're throwing a charge move here. We've got two fire types in the back, but I suppose with that chip damage from the Mud Bomb, we can now just go for a full Incinerate farm down. Of course, we do resist everything they can possibly throw, so I don't think we really needed that chip damage, but we do get the full farm down. We come out with a ton of loaded energy, so let's see if the opponent comes back in with their Gengar, and we're just going to go straight for a Shadow Ball. No point baiting here. They probably will just shield anyways, but I don't think it really matters. At this point, going to let the Shadow Punch take out the Skeledirge. We're now going to come back in with our Shadow Whiscash, over farming slightly, not too much though. Going to go straight for the Mud Bomb here, and Mud Bomb will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. We swap back into our Typhlosion. Going to let this move go through here, probably just going to be another Shadow Punch, which it is. They come in with an Ampharos, and we are just going to full send the Solar Beam once again. Might as well full send it. All shields are down. Solar Beam takes out the Ampharos, and we can just Incinerate, farm down the Gengar, and we still had both our shields remaining, and we take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Empoleon in the lead. They're going to say swap into Giratina. We respond with our Skeledirge, which I don't think makes an awful lot of sense. It's not the best matchup, especially since they are hitting for super effective damage with these Shadow Claws, and they are also running Ancient Power. So we are going to go for a Disarming Voice here, and the opponent is going to make it to another charge move. They did shield up the first Disarming Voice. I wonder if we bait with another Disarming Voice, can we make it to a third one in time, or will they be able to fully Shadow Claw farm us down? We do at least grab the shield there, and unfortunately we die as we reach the charge move there, but that's okay. We are going to wait out our Switch Clock. Switch Clock is probably up by now, and yes, you can see we can swap out if we want to, although we don't really want to at this point. Gonna let that Dragon Claw go through. They are back-to-back charge moves already, but Shadow Whiscash is fairly bulky in the Open Ultra League. We're gonna farm to the back-to-back Mud Bombs here, and honestly, I don't think this will be enough damage to take out the Giratina, but it will get them incredibly low. Looks like that was a CMP tie as well, so Mud Bomb coming through doesn't quite take them out there, but it puts them into perfect farm down range for our Shadow Typhlosion. We're going to swap straight away, and the opponent does the exact same thing, swapping straight away into their Empoleon. At this point, I would farm to 100 energy as they throw straight away as well, but no, we're actually just going to go for one extra Incinerate. I suppose this is also fine, but it depends what they've got in the bag. Blast Burn obviously going to take out the Empoleon there, and the opponent is going to come in with a Trevenant, so of course a Blast Burn will certainly be enough damage from this range to take out the Trevenant, and now one Incinerate will be taken out the Giratina, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, great lead matchup for us, although the Ampharos is probably going to be running Trail Blaze, so we do have to look out for that, but we can go straight for a Mud Bomb. We'll easily outpace them. Mud Bomb, going to be grabbing a shield. We swap into our Skeledirge, trying to catch a Trail Blaze. I don't agree with that whatsoever, as the opponent is very likely running Brutal Swing, which we've now seen, so we're going to have to shield the next charge move here, although they do throw straight away, so they throw on alignment, not the best timing. We're now going to go for a Shadow Ball. I don't think Disarming Voice would quite take them out, but Shadow Ball certainly does the job. They're now going to come in with their own Skeledirge. We can just barely outpace them to a Shadow Ball, although we are so low that the opponent probably can just take us out with a Disarming Voice, so at this point, definitely have to just no shield here, and the opponent is going to go for the Disarming Voice. We still got quite a lot of health remaining on our Whiscash though. They come in with the Venusaur, we're going to come in with our Shadow Typhlosion, and at this point we can just safely no shield, well, we can no shield, but we're going to choose to shield anyways. Go for the full Incinerate farm down. We've got back-to-back Blast Burns loaded, but instead we're going to go for the BM. Go for the Solar Beam, dealing huge damage there. We still have to force the opponent to throw a Shadow Ball to get rid of us. This Disarming Voice would not take us out, and now we can just outpace them to a Mud Bomb with our Shadow Whiscash, and from this range, Mud Bomb takes out the Skeledirge, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see a Feraligatr in the lead, so definitely where we want to see it, although this still isn't super comfortable for us. We are going to overfarm initially, gonna let the first Hydro Cannon go through. That does do quite a lot of damage to us, but we can fire off back-to-back Mud Bombs before they make it to the next Hydro Cannon, but that still won't be enough damage to take them out, but it will get them very low, so they're probably going to shield here. They do end up shielding. At this point, are we going to shield our Whiscash? Yes, we are, but unfortunately, I think we might be in range where they can just fully Shadow Claw farm us down, so this is going to be very scary for us. Gonna go for the second Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb actually does connect though. This will force the opponent to throw their energy. Probably the best case scenario for us, as now we can come in with either Pokemon, and one Incinerate is going to gain us a ton of energy here as we come in with the Skeledirge. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. They're going to come in with a Blaziken, so this is a very fine matchup for us. We are going to overfarm here, knowing that the charge moves that would deal big damage are going to be Brave Bird and also Stone Edge, which do take 8 counters to get to, so of course, go for 2 Incinerates first is the right play. The opponent then lands the Brave Bird up against our Shadow Typhlosion. They come in with the Togekiss. I am not sure why we're baiting here. There's literally no point, but we go for Disarming Voice. The opponent does correctly no-shield that, but they recognize there's no point throwing a charge move here. They are going to go for a full Fast Move farm down, and we can just go for the Incinerate farm down instead, taking out the Blaziken, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Giratina in the lead. So of course, this is a fairly neutral matchup, but we are only like 2300 CP. So of course, Mud Bomb's not going to be chipping that much up against the Giratina, but we've got 2 fire types in the back and 1 Skeledirge, which is going to take super effective damage from those Shadow Claws. So we are just going to let every move go through, eventually swap into our Shadow Typhlosion, and the opponent makes one of the most questionable swaps that I've ever seen, swapping into their Venusaur. No idea why they've done that. Like, honestly, I don't know what to say about that, but they're going to come back in with the Giratina. We've got quite a lot of health remaining here, so of course, Ancient Power, whilst it would hit for super effective damage, still won't take us out, so we're going to no-shield here, and it's actually just a Dragon Claw, which we do tank very comfortably. We're going to now go for Blast Burn number 2 up against the Giratina, and the opponent is going to let the Giratina go down. They come in with a Swampert. We're going to bank a Solar Beam. I really like that play. We now come in with the Shadow Whiscash, go for a Scald, grab the first shield from the opponent. At this point, I think we just have to let Whiscash go down. Hydro Cannon will be taking us out. We need to come in with the Skeledirge, and then I think we basically just need to shield whatever they throw, because I think if they go for a Hydro Cannon, we can live this. But the opponent's going to go for an Earthquake. That gets us into perfect Mudshot farm down range. Yeah, we definitely just needed to shield that first charge move there. I don't think they would have made it to another Earthquake if they baited us with a Hydro Cannon anyways, but unfortunately that was the win condition for the opponent, and they played it perfectly. So we do end up losing that game, but into the next battle, we see a Galvantula in the lead. So pretty good for all 3 of our Pokemon actually. We are going to be resisting the Volt Switch damage. The opponent probably just going to go for a lunge here, and we are going to no-shield the first lunge. We are now going to go for a Mud Bomb. The opponent swaps, catches onto a Guzzlord, but that's okay. We can now come in with our Skeledirge, and whilst most Dragon-type Pokemon, Skeledirge isn't going to do too well against, up against Guzzlord, Disarming Voice is double super effective, so that would definitely one-shot them, or at least from this range it would. So we're going to go for that Disarming Voice here. We have 100 energy, so throwing the first one, grabbing a shield from the opponent. We're trying not to throw on a alignment here, but of course that is going to allow the opponent to throw another fast move and then go for the charge move before we can activate another disarming voice. We're going to go for the second disarming voice, grabbing both shields. We could have thrown there, but for whatever reason we choose not to, but we do just barely live the Dragon Claw there, so it doesn't matter. Disarming voice number 3 will be connecting. It will be taking out the Guzzlord, although the opponent can come in with their Galvantula and get the Volt Switch farm down before the Incinerate damage registers, and now we're just going to sacrifice the Whiscash here. Lunge actually doesn't take us out. They come in with Primarina, and this is amazing for us. I thought that was a Tapu Fini initially, but it's not. We are resisting the charm damage. We're going once again for the Solar Beam, taking out the Primarina, and 2 Incinerates will certainly take out the Galvantula, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we see Greninja in the lead, so this is a fairly neutral lead matchup, of course. We do prefer to see it here than up against either of our Fire-type Pokemon in the back, but that Hydro Cannon does do quite a lot of damage. This Mud Bomb isn't going to do nearly as much damage there, but, I mean, we do get them fairly low. I think at this point it probably is worth using a shield here. Yeah, definitely just grab a shield back from the opponent or just get rid of the Greninja. Either way, that's fine with us. Gonna go for Mud Bomb number 2, grab the shield, and now we're swapping into our Shadow Typhlosion. And for some reason we get an Incinerate in for free there. We definitely should not have been able to do that, but we're able to take them out with that Incinerate. We can now go for a Blast Burn. I think we should have gone for 2 Incinerates there, just to guarantee that we get off both Blast Burns before the opponent makes it to a charge move, because unfortunately now this is going to be a Thunder Punch, and it actually doesn't quite take us out, so that is great for us. We can now go for a Blast Burn. Blast Burn takes out the Ampharos, but they've got a Skeledirge in the back. Now this is a little bit scary. They are ahead on energy, but we're going to come in with the Shadow Whiscash. We're now going to swap. I really like this play because there's no way they full sent a Shadow Ball there against a Whiscash that was so low on health, and that means that the opponent is now going to have to full sent the Shadow Ball. They can't risk throwing on the CMP tie. Shadow Ball will be taking out the Skeledirge, but we can now safely go for a Scald, and I believe Scald should be enough damage to take out the Skeledirge, and we're able to take that game. So really nice play in the end game there. Into the next battle, see Registeel in the lead. Great lead matchup for us, and just a great Pokemon for this entire team to deal with. They're then going to swap into a Shadow Feraligatr, so we go for that Mud Bomb straight away, and the reason we throw it straight away is because, of course, the opponent is 1 turn behind, so essentially we don't give away a free fast move for the opponent by over farming. We can now go for Mud Bomb number 2, and we should make it to a 3rd Mud Bomb before the opponent can fully farm us down. So I definitely agree with this. Go for the shield here, go for the Mud Bomb. If they do end up shielding, that's fine, we can swap out, but the opponent is going to let the Mud Bomb go through, and they come in with a Pidgeot. Now personally, I come in with the Skeledirge here just because we can very comfortably tank a Brave Bird, where Shadow Typhlosion really isn't going to appreciate it, but the opponent then baits with a Feather Dance, so we use up our final shield. Not ideal for us in the slightest. Blast Burn is still going to do big damage in this matchup, but the opponent is able to throw the next charge move before we can go for a charge move of our own or make a swap to catch, but the opponent's then going to clear their debuff. We can come in with the Skeledirge, go for a Shadow Ball. Of course, Shadow Ball not going to deal that much damage up against a Registeel in the Open Ultra League, but we should still be looking fine here. They go for the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon does not get a debuff. We're going to farm up as much as possible. Go for a Shadow Ball. We're actually going to undercharge this, and this will allow us to get 1 extra Incinerate in, make it to a Disarming Voice, and Disarming Voice from this range should be enough damage to take out the Pidgeot, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, not a great lead here, of course, expecting the opponent to have a Grass Knot on their Cresselia, so we swap into our Typhlosion, and the opponent responds with a Greedent. So going to go straight for the Blast Burn here. If this does connect, this will do huge damage to the Greedent and possibly put them into Incinerate farm down range. We can definitely tank 1 charge move here. They go for Crunch there, which is kind of strange, although maybe fishing for a debuff to our defense, or maybe they're also running Trailblaze, I don't know. They go for a second Crunch there. I think they did get the debuff this time around, but that's fine. They're now going to come back in with the Cresselia. We're going straight for the Blast Burn, dealing huge damage to the Cresselia. At this point, we can definitely let Typhlosion go down. Moonblast will be taking us out, so this pretty much guarantees that they're running Moonblast and Grass Knot, so we can definitely just overfarm in this matchup, let this charge move go through. The opponent is going to go for Future Sight, so nope, I was wrong. They're not running Grass Knot at all, so never mind there, but it doesn't matter. Disarming Voice doesn't quite take them out there. They swap into Bombardier, and this is actually going to be very difficult now. We go for Disarming Voice, obviously grabbing a shield from the opponent, but they've still got 1 shield remaining. We're probably just going to have to let 1 move go through here. We're going to let this first one go through, and they full sent a payback, dealing huge damage to the Shadow Whiscash. Whiscash does have some decent bulk even in the Ultra League, but that did huge damage there. We can at least go for a Scald and get a debuff, and now make it to a Mud Bomb as well. So Mud Bomb is going to grab a shield from the opponent, but they can get a perfect wing attack farm down, so this game certainly looks over. I think, yeah, just have to let this first move go through. They go for the fly, and then the opponent, oh no, they've thrown the game away. They throw a second charge move. They could have just fast moved farm us down there, but instead, we're able to incinerate farm down both the Bombardier and the Cresselia to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Shadow Poliwrath in the lead. So we're going to go straight for a Mud Bomb here, throwing before they can debuff us with an Icy Wind or a Scald debuff. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Going to let the first move go through here as the opponent does go for an Icy Wind. Now we're going to swap into our Skeledirge, and the opponent responds with a Drapion. So this isn't that bad of a matchup for us. They will just barely outpace us to the Crunch, which does unfortunately mean they will outpace us to the next charge move as well. But we can go for a Disarming Voice, and Disarming Voice is going to grab a shield from the opponent. They will just barely outpace us, so at this point we might just let this go through. Yep, gonna let it go through. Crunch will be taking us out, but that is okay. We're going to come back in with the Whiscash. We're not really going to overfarm at all. Just go straight for a Mud Bomb here, and Mud Bomb will be enough damage to take out the Drapion. They then come in with a Zarude, and we're going to swap into our Shadow Typhlosion. At this point, I think we can just double shield, fully incinerate, farm them down, and we'll come out with 2 Blast Burns loaded. And the opponent here is going to, actually no, we're going to throw here. I don't think that's necessary. I think committing to the full farm down was fine, but also the opponent ends up shielding anyway, so that's fine with us. Definitely just shield this up. They go for Icy Wind, double debuffing our attack, but it doesn't matter. This is a Shadow Blast Burn from Typhlosion. Actually doesn't quite take them out there, but one Incinerate does the job, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.